It's me. It's me, and again, me, lady in red. You know Chris de Burgh, or Chris de Burger. I'm actually very hungry, by the way. That's why I'm dreaming of burgers. Chris de Burgh, lady in red, is dancing with me.
She's certainly taken my breath away, that's for sure. The dancing, the prancing, the most beautiful woman in the world. And of course her name is Miss Ochin Gracevia. Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming back. Let's go and have a word with her, the most beautiful woman in the world, Miss Ochin Gracevia.
Hello everybody. How nice to see you again and again. The atmosphere at the moment looks like a paradise. You know why? Some artist has been here and drawn this luxury sky with the ornaments. And then there is no even little leaf is shaking, only me.
Only Gracevia, and of course she's been dropped onto the little island of love, especially for Mr. Paul. We're in the Armou viewing point, and we're going to go and have a sit down and have a chat and get that little bit closer to you. And of course today we're going to come up with a new topic. You never know, you might find out how Mr. Paul and Miss Ochin Gracevia actually met that first time. Shall we go and have a look? Let's go. Let's follow the most beautiful woman in the world all the way up to the Armou viewing point. She's going to transcend up. You're going to get a spectacality of a view at sunset time, and of course we're going to get a great view of the rear end while we're at it. But one thing's for sure, the sky is still looking blue. The sea, I promise you, is very, very blue. Mr. Paul, guess what? He's dressed head to toe in blue. So that must mean one thing. All that is missing is...
you, of course you. So get yourself on the big bird or a canoe and start paddling towards us. That's because we all impatiently on this luxury island of love, waiting just for you.
We are indeed. That's the view that was promised, and it is a view quite simply to die for. That is uptown, that is midtown, and that is downtown Paphos. It's a little bit, what should we call it, misty tonight, but that is one hell of a view indeed. Look at it. The sun is casting its final eye on the island of love. Marika and me are going to sit down and we're going to have a little chat with you and see what's been going on in our little lives.
I'm still hot. Forgive my rudeness. Many people are dreaming to be... is it rudeness or complainerless?
Complaining is what it is.
Yes. And I mean, we still keeping hot. No, the sun keeps us very hot and heat. And we try to understand one thing, that we are in paradise. No, we don't try, we sure.
We certainly are, but the temperature for this time of year is a little bit warm, shall we say. And if you are curious to know what the temperature is, perhaps if your name is Miss Dawn, you got a husband called Mr. Sean, a little dog who's very, very clever indeed, called Sir Bobo, and a partner in his crimes known as Daisy, the little lady cat. The temperature today is 31 degrees, and even tonight, just as the sun sets in the sky at just before 6:30 in the evening, it is 27 degrees. Yes, you heard me correctly, 27 degrees in the third week of October.
Now we go in very close or more closer to the biographies or histories, should I say, of me and Mr. Paul. Yes. It's all about us, all about us. I understand that we're showing this and that. We show in many areas. Most of our habits is the harbor promenade, but don't forget that me and Mr. Paul is always getting questions. How did you meet? Where did you meet? Why? Wow, how? Wow. And we decided to create this video especially for the most questioning people.
Curious people.
Curious.
Yes.
Okay. So it's like a questionnaire of the questionnaires of all
yeah,
the...
so I'll ask you the odd question or two and you get to answer and explain the reason. So, when was the first time that Mr. Paul and Marika met?
It was 2018 in the beginning of the year.
And how did we meet? Where did we meet?
We met in the shop where I worked. Mr. Paul came like a gentleman, very handsome, charity.
Well, you never know.
Charity man, man who is charming, came to the shop and wanted all our attention. At that moment being, we all, not because we were too many there, it was only me and one more girl, but he needed a help as a customer. So I was obviously doing something on my computer, busy, and I asked, well, of course, if anybody enters the shop or the place you work, you always greet him as like you've been waiting for him for all your life. And I did. Mr. Paul obviously did like it, and he understands that yes, this shop is my favorite from now on. But I didn't know then, honestly. I really didn't know. We were keeping as a good friends, a good advisors to each other, until something what happened. But that very time I said to him, I'll be with you in a minute. Please give me a little bit of time. So I offered Mr. Paul the coffee, one of his favorite coffees, because we had a machine of doing coffees. It was a number 17, if not, I'm not
That was the number, and that's a hot latte with 1 sugar.
Yes. So he sat on one of the chairs, patiently waiting for me. This lady in red. No, I wasn't in red then, by the way. I was in
You had a green
grey.
top with white dots on. That's what you had.
Actually, you see, Mr. Paul remembers what I was wearing. If I didn't wear anything, it would be better, but
Possibly. But anyway, I walked into the shop. It's a paint supply shop, so car, automotive products. And we were about to change shops. We shopped always in the same shop, 4 shops in downtown Paphos. On that particular morning, I got up and said, look, that one's ripping us off. We'll go and get some better prices. So we visited what's called the new shop, and it turned out there was a new girl in the shop, and she was very polite, so I sat down. Afterwards we chatted for about half an hour and discussed prices and that kind of thing. And then when we left, my brother said to me, shall we now go to the next shop? And I said to him, no, from now on we'll go to this shop, because that is where the most beautiful woman in the world
Mr. Paul, I think you are like a feeling. You was feeling something, but you didn't know then what. You was... Why is this slide in G?
G-slide is in action
G-slide
tonight,
is in
that's
action
for sure.
tonight. But I'm very, very sure that the man or woman, when such a moment's happening, against their understanding, by the way, they feel something on the under brain level. Do you understand if I mean what I mean?
I think they get the idea.
Underneath of that understanding of the understanding. Anyways, was very, very complicating situation in the family where I lived. I mean family, my marriage, and well, after some months, a few months, if I'm not wrong, I decided to open my heart to who? My friend, Mr. Paul, by the way. And well, he started to tell me when he heard how many years I lived with the previous marriage. He said, don't be silly, you're living with that life 22 years and so on. Are you sure you want to make a choice? No, choice to just split up, is it correct?
Yeah, that's the correct word.
And I would say you one thing. I always was, do you know the jump of panther? Have you heard about it? I knew that that very moment and that very place is a quite right place and quite right time. So I did jump like a panther towards a new life.
And very luckily
And I didn't
for
regret.
Mr. Receiver the Booth, I'm quite a good catch. I used to be a good rugby player. Of course, if your name is Sir Martin and there's a girl in your life called Lady Victoria, we hope you're doing all right. And of course, we're thinking about you every time that I light up one of those Romeo and Juliets.
Yeah.
Continue, Graciela Leboeuf.
I will never forget that gentlemanism of the men who didn't have any hope concerning to me, by the way, that very beginning of time. We were just continuing, going and coming and communicating as a friends, as like, what's going on in your life? Do you need any help? Blah, blah. You know, the over conversation. Nothing serious, nothing which will, as a woman, put you in responsibility to be with that man by all means. I decided to myself, let me check who is this man. I didn't check anything of his body. I didn't, but post factum, I appeared to be very lucky. I mean, I checked his habits, his attention, how he looks after the lady. I was a lady, even though I was a hard-working lady. I was a slave lady, by the way. But to work hard, nothing wrong with it, you know. If you work hard, you know why do you do it. And I did enjoy, I put all my emotions and all my soul and power to the work, if you understand me, before I met Mr. Paul. When I met Mr. Paul, I slowly tried to understand that now I would like to become a lady of leisure.
Leisure, yes.
Leisure. Do you know, word leisure from Russian means lежать. It means lie down.
Well, basically that's what it means.
Basically,
yeah, relaxed. Yeah, very, very relaxed.
So,
lady of leisure.
Lady of yes. I am, but I'm not. It's all in one. You always have to make sure that you have enough clothes, not to disappoint my.
We all know she has got probably enough clothes, although she says she hasn't.
I don't have anything to wear. Sometimes I'm looking for.
My goodness, you reminded me of my mother now. That's what's her favourite
Don't you know
favourite
that the
phrase.
boys always choose in the character of the friends or the wives close to the character of the mother.
And she was
Didn't
beautiful
you know?
as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul. And I know that you, Mr. Paul, one more little moment which is very emotional for me. Every time when he talks about his mother, he mentions that she was a real lady, beautiful looking woman, spoiled girl in the beginning from the parents, and then laterly of her husband, who unfortunately died. I mean, Mr. Paul's father, when he was 53, am I right, Mr.
Correct,
Paul?
Yeah.
And of course, when one of your half dies, unfortunately, you're like a bird without wings. You can't fly anymore, especially if you love that very half of yours. Let's not to go deep to the negativity of the story, but he always used to, and still, whenever he mentions his mother, I'm loving it. He's translating this woman like the best woman he's ever knew, and which makes my heart to fly from the happiness, because this is how the son or the daughter should value the mother's privilege, should I say. She was really a nice lady. If there is anything up there, I wish her to be blessed of her angels.
And on that note, I'm going to show you a spectacality of a final view. The sun has departed the island of love. It's going to pop its head up in Cato, Australia very, very soon, and say a very Kalimera to Princess Helen, and of course to our Lady Marie. And of course, I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit the like, click that subscribe, and perhaps consider to join us as a superstar member, or buy us a coffee or two on the Buy Me a Coffee platform. Totally safe, totally secure. Many, many people have done it, and of course you can read their comments and the replies and check them all out. And of course, I'd like to say thank you to some of the superstars that have joined us. If your name is Sir Martin, there's a girl in your life called Lady Victoria, we thank you from the bottom of our two hearts. And of course, if your name is Sir Tony and there's a Lady Gosha in your life, we thank you very, very much indeed. The list goes on and on and on, and we do thank you from the bottom of our two hearts. Lady Dame Anne, what do you think of that little outfit? Let us know in the comments.
I know she would like it. She is mentioning all the comments of yours, Dame Anne, I'm reading. Not only of yours, every comment I'm reading. Thank you very much whatsoever for your kindness, for your warm hearts, for your very open arms. Even though sometimes you're not here, we're feeling it from the bottom of our two hearts.
We are indeed. Big shout out to Lord Andy and of course Lady Ness in downtown Shropshire. Sir Andy and of course Lady Justine just over the border in downtown Staffordshire. And of course that list continues to grow. There's a Lady Kerry, there's a Sir Tony, we thank you very much. Of course there's a Lady Kerry and there's a Sir Graham, and we thank you very much indeed. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much, my dear, lovely, beautiful people. We will never ever forget about you, and we will try to do all our best in order to make you happy. At least a little bit more, day by day. Thank you for coming back. Please, please, don't forget to come and see another, yes, my dear Mr. Richie, just for you, of our madnesses. Loving you to bits and kissing you from the bottom of our two hearts. Galushka, люблю тебя, моя золотая. Ты моя сестренка.
Gary, we're loving you from the bottom of our two hearts. That's one of our, well, closest, designerists, whatever you'd like to call them. And a big, big shout out to my great friend, Lord Damon Ritchie, who's over in northern Germany visiting his sister, and we wish you a great, great time, and hopefully you have a great, great time at Paul's Bakery. And if you find time, pop over to Paul's Restaurant in downtown Tbilisi. That's the most beautiful woman in the world, Vysochin Gracivia LaBouffe. She's dancing, she's prancing, she's pirouetting on the island of love, Paphos Cyprus. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again very, very soon indeed.